Okay, so we're now going to look at a variation of the VLOOKUP, which is the HLOOKUP. And obviously I've created a tab and I've called it the HLOOKUP function. We're going to go to data again and get data and from file, from text CSV. And in this case, we're looking at subject data, which you should have downloaded and is part of this lesson. So we're going to import that. And again, as we've had before, at this point, we're just going to load. We understand that's going to come in as a table. And all I'm going to do is select that table, right click and copy, and then simply go to the HLOOKUP and paste just the values. That means I can now get rid of this sheet and it's going to complain, but that's fine. And we've got the raw data that we're looking for. I'm going to expand that, but then I'm going to just alter these just so we can see it a bit better. Now, these are the old grades that we used to have in the UK as regards our courses, A to G and then a U, and that's fine. And I'm just tidying things up, and I'm not telling you I'm tidying them up, I'm just doing it. But what I'm doing, I've just right aligned those, I've taken that and I've centered that. All of this group of data here I've centered and centered, and then I've just made sure that's also centered in both ways. There's no reason to do that. It's something I automatically do after so long of working with Excel, and I just get used to it. So what we could do here is we're looking at data here. This is a group of courses, and these are the areas we're looking for. So imagine that we're asked to consider the results of computer science. And imagine that we're interested in knowing who got A and B and C and D and E and F and G and U. So we've got those. Now, obviously, we could look it up, and we've got to use our imagination that this is a large quantity of data and that we just want to analyze that data. This is just purely as an example of how to use the HLOOKUP. Then what we're going to do, and I've just closed down that side menu just to declutter. What I'm going to do is name this range. And I just remembered I need to make sure I've actually got the letters in there, otherwise my plan's not going to work. But what we're going to do is grab those and then say, okay, well, what I want to do here is I'm going to choose the named range, and we're just going to put subject underscore grades. And that's the word subject underscore grades, and then just press enter. And now that's been accepted. So that's now the data for there. Then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to suggest that we're going to be asked to look up the data for computer science. Now we know that we're looking at the grades A, B, C, D, E, F, G and U. And we know we're going to be using the HLOOKUP. And the HLOOKUP structure is very similar and basically identical to the VLOOKUP, which is equals HLOOKUP, open brackets. What are we looking up? Well, we're going to look up this A here. Where are we looking? Well, I'm going to start typing, and we can see subject grades is listed there. So I'm just going to choose that. Where is the answer? Remember, the comma moves it on. Where is the answer we're looking for? Well, it's computer science, so we're looking at row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So looking for 6. And do we want an exact match? Yes, we do, because I only wanted to return A. And I say we can put lowercase, but I always like to put uppercase because it asks for it. And we can see that it returns the 4 that's there. And because we've used the name range, there's no reason why we can't take that, and that simply replicates that entire row there. So the VLOOKUP will look up vertically, so we could have asked for the computer science and then looked across at each row that way, or we can look at the grades there. And it does mean that we could actually utilize both pieces of data and itemize a specific point in the data. But that's for much later on for us to analyze those. The VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP are really useful tools for allowing us to take data out of large databases or small areas and utilize that data. And we'll be using that in our next revision session anyway. So what are we going to be looking at next? We're going to do something a little bit unusual next, in that we're still looking at the function, but in the next video, we're going to be looking at two functions at the same time, because basically they're two ends of the same thing. And those are the functions max and min. See you in the next video.